All right.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
everyone. We are live. This is Dee from Florida Paranormal Investigator. Florida Paranormal Investigators. I can say that.
Bill from That Was Spooky, and our
Yep.
special guest today.
Jason with the Extreme Ghost Research Lab. There we go.
How you
The
had to
ghost
read
guy.
that. The ghost
Oh, the
guy.
ghost guy. Yeah.
Hey, Joseph.
Yes.
Well, welcome
And
to the scam.
he's an extra special guest because he's actually Bill's brother.
Yes.
From
We are step twins.
huh?
We're not step. We're half brothers.
Not
Half brothers.
step twins. It doesn't.
Oh, step
Anyway.
twins. Well, yeah, we're half twins because we both came out of the same woman. So.
Hey. Yep. We are related in some form or fashion.
I'm starting to see
She
the
knows.
similarities. Oh, that's great. And what I find great is you guys are both in the paranormal field, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Who started first?
He's older.
I started first. I thought he would give me credit for bringing him into it, but he's like, "No, you didn't." So anyway, I started first, but he's been doing it too. He's done more probably than me in the last year, 2 years.
Maybe. Yeah, I've had my own experiences when I was younger, but I did join Jason's team for a little bit. I think we
Okay.
went on I got you guys into the asylum in Nevada.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that
fun.
was fun.
That's
Now
cool.
he's
And
out.
Jason, did you have similar experiences when you were younger growing up?
Yeah, and to tell you the truth, I was scared of the dark until I was about 20, 21 years old. So it was bad enough when I was a kid. You know, me and my brother, we had my brother I don't claim. We had to share a room, and we were in bed one night, and we just like started hearing this witch's cackle out, you know, from outside. We were both awake. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't hold anything to that 3 o'clock in the morning crap, but we heard it. We scared. We ran to our parents' room. They're like, nothing out there, nothing out there. And then, you know, in that house, I had so many different things, lights going off and on by themselves, seeing things, seeing people.
Wow.
Uh, I actually went back and investigated the home
Oh, really?
probably about 8 years ago, and I got a few little EVPs here and there, but nothing major. But it at least made me believe maybe it was haunted when I was little. Maybe I wasn't just
Yeah.
imagining it. But yeah, so
Yeah.
Okay.
short
And
short
was
answer,
this
yeah.
the same home, Bill, that where you had your experiences at?
No,
No, it's
no.
different. Okay.
I grew up with my grandparents' house, which is also very haunted,
Hmm.
and I would like to go back and investigate that. But there's a lot of people living there right now, so
Okay.
I had an experience at that house too, I believe.
Oh, tell us
Yeah.
about it.
Um. So when my mom left my sperm donor and went to his with his dad, we were living there for a little bit, and
Yeah.
I I was my brother was taking the one I don't claim was in a room taking a nap, and I was down in the laundry room for some reason. Um, I turn around and he's there. He's like standing there, but he won't talk to me. He's got a blank expression on his face, and I'm like trying to get him to say something, and he just turns
Mhm.
around and walks out the door. And I
That's great.
start screaming. I was probably 5, 6 years old, and mom runs in there and grabs me. She's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Justin was in here and he walked through the door." So she took me to his room and was like, "He's asleep," and there was like two gates stacked up. He couldn't get out.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be in that house anymore. I think that was pretty close to the time we went to Florida.
yeah, nice. Yeah, so it was
Um,
almost like he was astral projecting or something, right?
That's
Or
all
like a
I
mimic.
can. Yeah, it was either a mimic or an astral projection. He doesn't remember it. He didn't remember it. Like he woke up and he was Justin, so he didn't remember anything. I've thought about it years later, and it's just like either it was mimicking or it was an astral projection. And I would
yeah.
honestly say probably more on the mimic side of it. But like,
Yeah.
what was the purpose? It didn't do anything or say anything. It just
Yeah.
looked at me and walked.
Scared the crap out of you.
Probably did pooey a little bit too. So
Probably.
Hi, everyone that's
Hey,
been
Justin. Hey,
commenting.
cross the line.
If you guys have any questions, please ask.
Throw them
We're
in the
here.
chat.
Exactly.
yeah, I can.
And so I guess what started you off are all these experiences that happened when you were younger.
Yeah. So when I was married to my first wife, we'd watch the Ghost Hunter show. We thought it was cool. It scared me to death to watch it, but I watched it. Then when me and her split up, I moved in with some friends, and their house or their trailer was haunted. And one night I was laying there, and something started pulling blankets off of me, and I was freaked out. But then at the same time, I was like, unless you're here to do something with me, quit pulling my blankets off. Well, it stopped. And for some reason, that moment, I decided I'm not really scared of the dark and stuff anymore. Well, then I married my current wife, and we were sitting at McDonald's one night, and I was like, I'd like to start a ghost hunting team. And she's like, let's do it. So
Just a
I did this.
random McDonald's night,
Yeah. So I started a Facebook page right there in McDonald's, and we started doing home cases. We did probably, I'd say every month we do probably 20 homes. There was weeknights that we'd go, weekends we'd go. So I had a lot of stuff. I unfortunately lost the hard drive with a computer I lost, so I don't have anything. But
That's the worst.
it is.
That's like my biggest fear.
Yeah.
That's why
The
now
hard drive.
everything's on the cloud. It's on 3 different computers, and I won't lose it again. But yeah, it was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and yeah, I learned a lot. I learned that you don't do this for fame and fortune. You don't do it for any reason except for help people and learn. And honestly, I've moved more towards the research side than the actual investigation side, because
Yeah.
the thing people don't understand, you start a ghost hunting group, you don't know anything, you're going to go in and probably make people's homes worse. They're going to be more scared when you leave than they were before you got there. I in fact have started a whole thing of, you investigate your own home, you send me the footage, I'll go through it for you, because me coming in there stirring stuff up is just going to make it worse. So
Yeah, that's an interesting take, to have them investigate and then send you the footage to analyze later.
and it opens up my schedule, because I don't have to go there that night, and they can just enjoy their normal life, just record a few hours, and if something happens, they can send it to me. If they want to see if something happened while they were sleeping, they can send it to me. I would rather them do it, because their energy's already there. They're not going to stir anything up.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen like it normally does for them. So
Yeah.
I feel that's the best way.
Yeah, like we get a lot of residential cases. The one thing we definitely bring up is us coming in will kick up what's happening in your home. So it's up to you. This is what you want to continue, and whatnot. And all of them were like, yeah, we understand.
Until you leave,
But then
and
what happens is they keep calling us.
Yeah. I've done a lot of cases that probably after the first year of me doing this, I felt like I got kind of jaded with the whole thing. And I'd go in and I'd investigate, and I would just I'd walk the people through the home, have them tell the spirit it's their house, they want them to leave. And I didn't have any problems. Like, people were like, "Did you bless the house or something?" I'm like, "No, you guys did it yourself. You guys told it you wanted your home back." And honestly, it seemed like every place we went, we didn't catch anything if I was around. So I joked that I was a dead battery. I was sucking up that energy. And I think in the last couple of years, things have started picking up more. Like, the house we're in right now actually has had a person die. An old guy died back in one of the kids' rooms. So you'll get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, you look down the hall and somebody's standing there. You don't think about it right off the bat, and then you take double take and they're gone. But it's like,
Yeah.
we know something's here. We've heard things. I'm here all by myself all day, and I hear people walking down the hall. Nobody else is here, so it's kind of a cool place. But I want to get it more haunted, and the wife doesn't want that. So
I was gonna ask him, like, have you like tried to do an investigation in your home?
when she was watching her mom's dogs, she stayed at her house for a week, and I did investigate. I actually so me and Bill's mom passed away, and my mom always told me, if I die, I'll help you out with this stuff. I was like, oh, cool. So I had a vial of her ashes, and I had a Ouija board, and I was just going to town trying to get something to happen that night. And sorry, Bill, she didn't come through. But I don't know, and nothing came through. And then I think that night I was laying in bed, and it just sounded like the voices all around me, and I kind of discounted it to maybe I'm just tired, but it literally sounded like out of the white noise because I run a fan all night. I could hear people talking, and I thought, yeah, maybe it's just me. But then I actually get a voice come through like hey, like really loud. I was like, maybe I should stop playing with that thing, but I'm not going to till something bad happens. So that's where the extreme part comes from there, because I'm just going to keep doing it until something happens.
Might as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only real way to get
listening
evidence.
while they're carving a pumpkin right now. I think that's the best way to watch the show.
They're listening while they're craving a pumpkin.
Oh, I crave a pumpkin.
Hazy.
I'm gonna think they meant carve.
Most likely. Yeah, the best way to get evidence is just keep doing it, you know. And have you ever had any attachments or anything?
I think is important, at least, especially when it comes to like if you're into like the data analysis side. Repetition is key.
Yeah, because that's part of the scientific method. I mean, you've got to have at least three consistent results that point towards the same thing, and then you go on with it. But yeah, now on the attachments question, have I don't know. I honestly have had things follow me home. It's probably more because I go, they don't want you here, but you can come home with me. I got called out about that one day. But you know, for the most part, my wife, she isn't really scared of this stuff. My kids, they're kids. They're scared, but they're not. I try to explain to them, you know, Daddy's been in some really scary places, and nothing's happened to me, so you'll be okay. And I think they get it. We haven't had any major problems. I mean, nothing that I haven't caused myself. And honestly, if I can get my building that I want to turn into my research lab, I'm gonna haunt the hell out of it. So
yeah,
I'll figure it out.
Where would that be located?
It'll be here in Bartlesville somewhere, Bartlesville or Tulsa.
Just like a random building, or
I just need a random building. Yeah, I would love if somebody out there thinks that I'm worth it. You could buy me the old hospital here in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
You can buy me the old hospital.
And I'll let you in for free anytime you want. You can live there if you wanted. But just letting you know, if I'm special, myhaunting@yahoo.com is my email address. Just let me know. But,
it'll be very haunted.
I mean, the reports from that place is that it's already haunted. There's a little girl spirit that scared the guy that actually does the caretaking for the place. Like, he was walking towards the front door and he saw this little girl, thought she came in from the street. He was trying to talk to her to get her out, and she just disappeared right in front of him. He said he wouldn't go back in there again. He didn't. He was going to let us in one night, and he wouldn't. So I assume that it did happen. But yeah, there's been other reports. I drive by every day and I look up at the windows and see if there's anybody looking out. I haven't seen that yet, but I think you guys would like it. Well, Bill knows what it is. He's seen it before. That's a pretty creepy building.
That's super cool. Road trip.
That'd be cool to get into.
Yeah, just finding the person that owns it now is the fun part.
That's the hard part.
Yeah. But yeah, well, sometimes it's like you have to try to find if it's whether the state or a private owner or something.
The state took it over at one point. They changed its status to a historical landmark, I believe.
Okay.
There's a building across the street from it they call the Tico building. And I guess the Tico building used to be, the bricks from that building used to be another hospital across, well, on the same side of town, but down the road. And they tore that down and they built part of the hospital and then part of the Tico building with that. And so there's a chance the building across the street, if it ever becomes vacant, I could get that probably cheaper because it's not a hospital, but it's still probably haunted.
Right.
And but yeah. Now the big thing about me is I'm an atheist.
Okay.
This confused people because
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
it.
believe in ghosts, but you believe in, or you don't believe in God, but you believe in ghosts. Well,
Yeah, there's a big difference though.
I've seen one. One's proven that they're there, so
Mhm.
that's all I have to say about that. But people think about it the wrong way. I think people think about ghosts as spirits, which they could be what you want them to be, but is it not more feasible to think they're energy? They're
Yeah.
just energy. We have energy. It's what makes us who we are.
Mhm.
And if we think of it more like that, then to me, ghosts aren't scary. There's no such thing as demons. There's no such thing as angels. There's no such thing as all this crap that people make up. But there are energies of the people that have passed before. I had a theory with one of my old ghost hunt buddies that when you die, that energy joins like a force. Like in Star Wars. It's just it's out there. All that knowledge is there. That's why you can go from one place and something says your name to another place across the United States and it knows your name. It's because it's all connected somehow. And that's what I hope to prove one of these days. Yeah, just like the Force. And I hope to prove it. And that's why psychics, maybe they are real. Maybe they can actually reach into that
they are
force.
The guys.
And yeah, and we can learn from them. But I just
Yeah.
That's why I want to create a place that's like super haunted, so I can try to figure out where all that energy comes from or goes. And that's my life's work. That's what Bill will take it over once I die. So
No, you'll still be working
Very cool.
from the
Very cool.
Force.
Now, with the study that you want to do on that, what type of equipment do you use to help you analyze everything?
Well, mostly just stuff you can buy at the store. So I got my video cameras, my voice recorders. I do have the Zoom H4 voice recorder, which is my most high price piece of equipment. And it does really good sound. It's really clear, and if you get an EVP on that, it's clear. You can distinguish if it's somebody or if it's something. So I like that. I do have the EDI Plus. It's got the environmental tools on it, so you can see the EMF, the pressure, the humidity, temperature, and vibration. And it's like I like tools that are more geared toward things that actually are happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since it logs everything, I can throw it on the computer and I can see what times things happened and see if it corresponds with any of our EVPs. I really honestly haven't had much luck with it yet, but I have always liked the geophone portion of it, because if you're in a home and you set it on the floor and you hear something walking towards you, you'll be able to visually see it. So
Nice.
beyond that, I've got the Mel meter. I've got a couple computers that I've set up as audio monitoring, but it's like I right now have nothing, and it's mostly because I don't trust anything out there. So what I tend to try to do, like I built my own Mel meter, and not Mel meter.
REM pod.
What is that? REM pod. That's what it was.
Okay.
They're actually built out of miniature theremin sets, and you can buy them through Mad Lab. I sent one to Bill, or sent it to Bill the other day, but yeah, you can build your own stuff. You know what is coming out of it. I'd like to build my own app just for my use, and I've worked on that probably the last 2 years, and I've got nothing. I don't even have a name for it, but I haven't got to play with it a whole lot. But it's hard to come up with that equipment because they price it so high because it's for ghost hunting, and they know dumbasses like me will go out and pay for it if I had the money. So.
Yeah. We actually got one good comment regarding the energy and everything you were talking about and the force, and Cross the Line Paranormal says that could possibly be why most can communicate in English, universal energy.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be a
good
theory. And he also states EMF tripwire and Flux V2 I like lately. Yeah. I do want to get a tripwire.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. I'd like to get we had a one of those flares that I was borrowing from another group. The biggest problem with those is I could be standing at this end and videoing down the hall, but if it's reflective down there, I can catch myself moving because you're. So it's like so many times I watch the ghost hunting shows, and it's like that's probably just you guys.
Yeah. It's like it's bouncing off the window.
Yeah, and I don't want to put evidence out there that could possibly be torn apart. And I have a group of people that I trust. One of my guys, Nathaniel, friends with, he does a lot of these debunking videos on TikTok. Like if I get something, I'm gonna send it to him first to see what he thinks, because that's your peer review right there, and that's part of this stuff is you got to have other people look at it. And if you just post it out there and people start, can I cuss?
Yeah.
Oh, shit talking it, then you're gonna feel pretty stupid when you find out that's probably not what it was. So if you have somebody else look at it, one person, and you trust them, and they go, yeah, that's your reflection. Okay. I'm not gonna post
I have that person. It's actually my old teammate from Unseen. I like stuff that because usually I'm the one that analyzes a lot of the evidence. But if I'm like thrown off by something, I'd be like, Karen, tell me. And she's a photographer. She knows a lot about like photo analysts and video analyzing, which I've gotten into, and I'm learning a lot through her. And she's helped explain a lot of things. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's like you wonder how people don't understand how cameras work sometimes. Like when they take those not night shot, but they take it with the slow shutter speeds, and they
and then they get the movement and the trail and all the anomalies that show up, and it's like, no, that's the camera setting.
Or you take a picture of the sun and you see this orb over here. That's lens flare. That's just But how many people fall for it? Like there's pages out there. Heck, there was a guy that all he did was did a ghost box session, trying to say he talked to famous people in a truck. He'd drive his truck and do ghost box sessions and act like he's talking to people. He had thousands of Facebook page likes. He was making an ass of himself. He was saying he was talking to a dead kid that got stuffed in a sewer pipe in Texas, and the guy ended up being alive. So I think I saw his page totally disappear.
Crossline Paranormal says, or those windows and mirror pics.
Yeah.
All the smudge marks and everything. Like, you face, I'm like, you mean the smudge? You need a clue.
I sneezed there yesterday. Look at all the orbs now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on orbs.
Yeah.
Orbs
are weird.
Orbs are just not ghosts. Like, people need to stop posting them as ghosts. It's the ones you can see with your eyes. If you're sitting in a place and you see a round thing coming at you, either one, it's ghost
a round
balls,
ball of light is coming at you,
or it's orbs.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's an orb.
It's the ones where they only see it on the camera, or they post videos of it's the people that are just scared, and they take a video from their room on the floor looking up, and you see all this dust, and they're like, it just started, but you hear their air conditioner just had kicked on. So all this dust is from your air
Yeah.
conditioner. So,
And
lady,
they'll be
clean
like,
your
"No, our
filter."
house is clean." And I'm like, "You are always going to have things
Yeah.
flying in the air, always."
My
Always, no
house
matter
is
what.
always clean. See,
Yeah. And it's
so
funny when they have like carpet or like animals running around. I'm like, "Yeah, it's yeah."
A lot of cat hair in the air
Yes.
vents and stuff like that. Yeah.
I honestly think pets and people were the reason I stopped doing home investigations, because you tell the people, I need your house for 2 hours without you being there, at least 2 hours, because I need to do a proper investigation. Why?
Mhm.
Well, I don't want contamination. Okay, well, I've got dogs. Can you find somewhere else for them? Well, no. Well, then I can't investigate your home, because I'm not going to sit there and battle 2 hours worth of audio per each a piece
Yeah.
of equipment I use and see whether it's a dog or your ghost.
Yeah,
So,
that's one thing we always have to make sure. I'm like, "Do you have a place for yourself and your animals?" Like, cats, I don't mind, they don't bother and they don't make
Yeah.
as much sounds,
I hate cats.
but we could kind of work around, like, a cat or 2, not like a house full of, like, 6 cats or something, no.
Oh yeah.
Like
Well, the people I always had to investigate for always had to have a dog, and it was either a little nippy dog or a
Yeah,
big old dog, and they wanted to leave it in there. And for one, I'm not a big animal person. It's not that I don't like animals. I've been bit too many times, so yeah,
yeah.
keep your stuff
That's
away.
fair.
And I tell them, you guys can sit in your driveway, take the dog out in the car or whatever, but
Mhm.
it never worked out the way it was supposed to. I just gave up on it. And if they're
Yeah,
investigating
we
their
we
own
now I
home,
think we try to find workarounds, EVPs, like, if we just can't do it, and,
yeah,
like, just try to find something else.
yeah, it's hard to do. And then two, like, if they investigate for themselves, their dog's not jumping around acting crazy most of the time. You
Yeah.
can
Hopefully.
get better stuff that way. But honestly, I've not had many people take me up on that offer to let me and listen to your stuff that you caught. So it's kind of like Ouija boards. What do you guys think of Ouija boards?
Uh, I like to use them. I personally haven't, unless if I'm with somebody else.
Bill,
I
I
haven't
think
had
we
any
have
movement.
yours.
Yeah, they still have my Ouija board.
We still
If I do it on my own, I don't get anything from it. But with other people, it seems like there's, I guess, more energy, or maybe they're more connected to it.
Or maybe they're moving it.
Well, you never know. I think I did it with Haiti once,
Yeah,
and
well, what we like to
whoever.
do is we don't like to if me and you were, touching, we would have someone else ask questions that we wouldn't know answers to, and then see what the responses are.
Yeah,
It's like trying to find a way so that it's not as easy as like, "Oh, I already know this information, so I'm gonna, like,
yeah.
spell it
Yeah,
out."
more of a
I've
control.
I've tried it. Like, they say don't use it by yourself. Don't use it in the graveyard by yourself.
Yeah. Well,
Don't
I
leave it
I think
open.
yeah, I think all the stuff around Ouija board, I think that's all
Hollywood.
garbage. It's
Yeah.
yeah. I
Well,
think that's all Hollywood. I think it's like, Crossline Paranormal, it's a tool no different than anything else.
Yeah,
And
it's no
well,
honestly,
different
it's
than.
a tool that can be a pain in the butt because trying to figure out what it's spelling takes forever.
yeah. And I'm 43, so I forgot what I had for dinner. So, um,
Right.
but I've tried to get people to prove somehow that Ouija boards are dangerous. I've asked for years, for like the last 2 years, send me a video of something going wrong when you're using one. If you
Mhm.
believe that they're that bad, just you should have evidence. Don't just make up stories. And no, not a group out there. Nobody sent me anything. So if you have one, somebody has one. My
The
haunting at
only
Yahoo.
time I saw that it was dangerous was when, uh using it with people, and the person asked if her husband was cheating, and it said yes, and that got a lot of things stirred up.
I can
That was the
A lot
only
imagine.
of
time
energy.
I saw a dangerous situation occur.
Was he cheating? Was it
Huh,
was it was it right? Was he
yeah,
cheating? Oh, yeah.
that's why I was like, that's when dangerous things occurred.
Mhm.
It's the only time it's dangerous. So yeah,
Exactly.
but Yeah, Ouija boards. That's why I've tried to explain to people. I've had tons of contacts with people like, don't use Ouija boards, but it's like I tell them, you use a voice recorder. A voice recorder is the same thing. Well, no, you touch a Ouija board. Well, you touch your voice recorder. You ask it questions. And two, I like to fight people on the fact that in the Bible it says you're not supposed to talk to dead, right? So to me, it seems ridiculous that if you go to church, you would want to ghost hunt. People do it. I'm not going to knock them for it, but it's like so many different things out there that people just have claims towards that they don't have any proof on, and you can watch stuff like that on YouTube, but you never know if it's real. So I would like somebody to just send me real proof that it is dangerous or something can happen. We have had things happen. I don't know if it was from the Ouija board or what. But one night, one of our people in our group actually did kind of like Zach Bagans when he acts like he's got possessed, but it didn't happen like that. And she wasn't faking it. Her sisters were with her as well. So when it happened, it was just strange. She started acting like like an old, or not an old, but a young drunk cowboy. Because when she took off, she just started gunning her truck and like swerving all over the road. And then they were yelling at her, and they called me after they got her to stop because she was crying and shaking. And like I said, before she left, we didn't really realize anything was going on, but something had basically taken her over while we were playing the Ouija board. We assume. Again, do I believe 100% into that stuff? No, but that was the closest I've come to seeing something like that happen. And it could have turned out dangerous. I just, I don't know. But we've done some other experiments where the same person has had different experiences. And they are a little bit more sensitive than me. But it seems like I think it's probably good that they backed out of the whole thing right now, because I think if you're not in the best place in your own head, you probably shouldn't be doing this stuff. So
most definitely.
We actually have a question. What are some misconceptions about using the board? We talked about them.
Basically the fact that you're going to get possessed if you use one, or you're going to bring something else in. It's a misconception. It's a misconception that demons are going to be what you're talking to, and not your past loved ones. You don't know that, and you can't tell me that. You can't prove it. So to me, if my mom had come through that night, or our mom had come through that night, it would have been my mom. I wouldn't have said that was a demon, and I would have probably gotten pissed if somebody said, "Oh, it's just a demon. It's not your mom." No.
Yeah.
I assume, like I said, if she I could introduce you to her. But I'd assume if she was going to reach out, she'd reach out. She'll reach out on her own time. Me or Bill, because I know for a fact me and Bill were her favorites, whether the other siblings want to admit it or not. Mom always told me, "You and Bill are my most normal kids," and I'm like, we're not really normal, but
we're the ghost hunters.
So
now I would agree that there is a possibility that some of these things with Ouija boards can and have happened, but I would say it's probably pretty rare. And as long as you know what you're doing,
you take that same risk investigating, walking into a home with activity. I think it's the same risks. And whether it's associated with you bringing in the board, or the same thing may happen without the board, you don't know. Cross the line paranormal says, I've dealt with more demons after eating Taco Bell.
Haven't we all?
Man. Yeah, don't put a recorder in a bathroom. That's all I can tell you.
Never again.
We have a local Taco Bell, so our group.
I literally had Taco Bell today.
Whoa. So we'll hear some tooting here in a little bit.
I'm okay. I have a strong stomach. So
me too. I think that people do they put a whole lot of evil into the Ouija board, but these boxes like the portal box that
Mhm.
that fucktard, what's his name? God, I can't remember because I block him out of my mind. The guy that always reaches out to the dead people that
Oh, I'm gonna say the wrong name. I don't want to say the wrong name.
Yeah, I have no
I've
idea.
already had.
Steve Huff.
Yeah, that's who I was gonna say. Yes.
So his stuff is so awesome, but yet those Ouija boards are dangerous. But the stuff that he makes is so awesome.
Yeah.
I would think his contraptions would be a little bit more dangerous than a Ouija board would be. For one, I would be afraid of getting electrical shock from it, and two, it's geared towards things like bringing things in. So, and it's called the portal, but yet the Ouija board's more dangerous just because you automatic writing. I've had people tell me not to do automatic writing. Have you ever tried that?
I don't think I've heard anyone against that.
Because the spirits are controlling your hand movements and they're making you write that stuff. So it's not any different than a Ouija board. Okay. And I tried it. And it was weird. Like you do it and it does feel weird when it starts moving and you don't know what's happening because you've got your eyes closed, your ears plugged, and you give it a little bit and then you open your eyes and you see things drawn or words written, and it's like it is cool, but it's also if you know anything about biology and all that stuff, your muscles will do things. So without you knowing it or without you controlling it. So it's hard to say what it is exactly. The Charlie game, you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when my daughter brought my 8-year-old is the one that showed me it. She's like, let's play Charlie. What is that?
So I had set up an experiment for that one night. And I had a camera on it. I didn't have anything happen on that. It's just I think people watch too many movies, and my kids are even getting better at it. We took them to watch The Nun, and then we took them to watch The Exorcist, and I'm just like, that stuff's movies, kids. Like that stuff doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
People look at us funny when we walk in those movies with a 9 and 11-year-old, but it actually is helping them not be as scared, and that's what I could have had when I was a kid. I wish my parents would have made me not scared of the dark.
My daughter, when she was like 2 or 3, her favorite movie, no joke, was the newer Poltergeist movie. And the thing was, she knew it was funny because she would comfort my sister who would be scared watching, and she'd be like, "Don't worry, it's just a movie. It's not real. It's not real." I'm like, okay. And it's funny watching the shows now because she's like, "That's Photoshop. That's Photoshop." Like
CGI. Well, my 19-year-old kid, he actually grew up on the Saw movies, and like every Saw that came out, he loved it. And then when he turned about 8 years old, we actually started going. I took him ghost hunting with me. We have a witch's grave down here. We've done several graveyards together. I mean, he was not scared of the dark by the time he was like 11 or 12. He was fine with it, and now he's gonna join me on some of these things I do, but
that's cool.
It's just getting around work schedules and stuff. So
that's the hard
adulting.
Now, you investigated the Labadie Mansion out there near Bartlesville, correct?
Yeah, a few times.
Did you catch anything exciting?
Well, not at the house. The house is just a shell now, so it's just the brick. There's no ceiling, no walls. Oh, well, there is walls. It's just brick walls. They filled in the well that was out there. It didn't really seem spooky when you're out there, even though you're out there at night. The biggest thing was there was too many coyotes, and you felt like you was going to get eaten as you were going back to the car. The house
really was wildlife.
Yeah. The house was a bust, but the cemetery, you and me went. with the girl you were with at that point, and I was trying to play a prank on them. I had a static detector I made. I had it sitting on a grave, and I was trying to scare them because I had a plastic bag and it would pick it up from like 30 feet away.
Yeah.
And as I was trying to mess with this, something came down. You remember that? It came down and hit the antenna and then took off. It was bright. It came down, hit the antenna, and then took off. And I'm like, I caught that. And I go back to my camera and I had it on demo mode. I forgot to hit record.
No.
Oh no.
So yeah, because I was gonna prank. That's the night he taught me about Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style?
Whatever it's called. God.
Yeah. That was so popular.
Yeah, well, it was, and I hated it, and then I just started listening to it. But that cemetery we've gotten at the cemetery with another group, they caught Frank came through on the ghost box, which is the name of the dad that supposedly killed everybody.
Okay.
One of the kids' names came through it. As we were leaving, I had my recorder in my hand, and I basically said, "Thank you for having us. We're leaving you. We're not taking anything with us. We respect you. Sleep, rest in peace." And as we were leaving, you hear it say, "Be careful." And I was like, "Well, that's nice." I mean, other people go out there and they claim that they get halfway down the road, their car starts freaking out and it dies, and things start happening to them. We went out there and we were respectful, and it was respectful to us. Told us to be careful. Yeah. So it's the cemetery was a lot more active than the house. And the last time me and my wife went to the cemetery by ourselves, we were investigating around, and we heard what sounded like a man hollering, like screaming, like in a man's voice. We stood there for a minute, and then it happened again, and we were like, I don't think that's an animal. I'm not staying out here. So we left. Yeah. And I haven't been back since. But it was
and that's our cue.
Yeah, we're leaving. But no, it's good to have a spouse that's actually into it as well. She's not into it as much as I am. I'm ate up with it, but she likes to go, and she's not too scared to confront something if it bothers her. So I think we're a pretty good couple on that.
Oh, that's awesome. It's always good to have someone that supports or is into this stuff.
Yeah, Bill needs to find somebody.
We're trying over here. We're trying.
Anyway.
We got to go to more Paracons to meet more weirdos like us.
You just use this. Oh, not mine. Your own.
I'm good.
I'm Jennifer Lopez. Anyway.
But yeah, we do have some Paragons coming up. We have whatever. Jeez. But yeah, I do need to come back and visit. I've been meaning to, maybe for the holidays. That'd be really cool. Come back, see the little bit of family we got left.
Yeah, Chris said he's gonna cook.
I'll come back next time.
Yeah.
Is he not a good cook?
Just kidding. I'm not sure.
Who knows?
I'm not sure.
He may try to kill us. I honestly don't trust a whole lot, so
Yeah,
I think he'd kill me. So I'm gonna eat at my wife's parents' house.
Fair enough.
Josh says, "Hey guys, talk to you guys November." He's from Animal Paranormal. He's the one doing the Paracon on that's going to support for the child trafficking and everything like that. So that's a great cause. And we have Cross Colonel who says, "That's what ended my first marriage. Second one is a lot better."
That's good.
Well, the funny thing, my first marriage probably would have. She is now into that stuff. We're actually all friends. Like, I'm friends with my ex-wife and her boyfriend, and my wife works with my ex-wife. So it's like we've gone out and done investigations together before.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it would have worked out.
Team right there.
I was an ass in my first marriage. I've learned to not be. So people can change, but I haven't changed a whole lot.
Yeah.
Learn. learn your lines that you can't cross, pretty much.
That's pretty cool that you're all able to get along and investigate and get into that stuff.
Yep. Yeah. And then it helped out because like I said, my 19-year-old, me and his mom split up when he was 2, so that he can see we can still get along. It helps him, I think, in the future. So
yeah,
that's good.
let's see. Crossline says, "Yeah, we can change. Still not going back."
Oh, I'm not either.
Yeah.
This marriage could end tomorrow, and I'd still not think of her. She's more like my sister. I'm actually her dad. My first wife's dad is my adopted dad now, and so it would be weird for his son and daughter to have that happen again. So yeah.
We do still co-parent well. And Victor Sedona asks, "Can you recommend a good spirit box to purchase?"
They don't make the Radio Shack radios like they used to. You used to be able to go and buy a certain model of Radio Shack radio and manipulate it and make it your own. The SB7 spirit box is a good spirit box. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what they've done. So, but
I think, well, like the regular, like I think they've upgraded it. The SB7s is just you could choose AM, FM to sweep through at a certain speed and adjust the speed and everything. I think you could also, with that one, you can go reverse as well. SB11, it's just like dual channels, so it can run like 2 channels at once. And things like that. So those are good. Honestly, when it comes to spirit boxes, like the ones that they sell for $300 and all that stuff, literally it's like an SB11 with guitar pedals on it to adjust the noise.
For like reverb and stuff.
Yeah, you literally attach a reverb pedal and then a denoise pedal and you have a spirit box. And there's actually a lot of YouTube channels. It teaches you how to create your own. So I would go that route on how
there's if I could find it. It was a Tesla Ghost radio you can make on your own, and if I can find it, I'll put it in the chat there, but I can't. I messed with all my bookmarks the other day and I lost it somewhere in here.
It's Tesla, so it's self-driving.
Not that Tesla, the actual Tesla.
Yeah.
Like the coil, like
yeah, the guy that you always see pictured by the Tesla coil. It's that guy.
Yeah.
And he had built some kind of a it's just made out of like copper, like jar.
I think I saw that, and they have instructions on how to do that.
And I had them.
Yeah.
I think I might have deleted it. I don't know why, because I was gonna build one. Oh well, I'll find it. It's just look up Tesla Ghost Radio and try to build one of those. That would be your best.
Tesla Ghost Radio. Sometimes, and it's funny because we're like, oh, build your own. Like it's easy to. It's some. You wouldn't believe how especially with now these YouTube tutorials out, it's really not that hard. And if you notice that how some of them are built and the pieces used are so cheap, but then how they price them to sell them is so ridiculous.
Yeah. I will say building it your own was probably the best way to go. But if you're someone who doesn't have a ton of time,
if not, then an SB7 or an SB11 if you want a dual channel.
The SB11 also has a temperature gauge on it.
Well,
and that's the one I use.
There's now a new SB7 Pro, as Cross the Line Paranormal said. I don't know what the added feature. I have to look into that one. I don't know what the added feature is on that one.
Bluetooth would be great if they could just let you Bluetooth the sound to a louder speaker, but
yeah.
My problem with them is you have to use them in a place where you don't have a whole lot of interference with radio stations, because it picks up radio stations and you're going to think it's something. We've had the problems in the past. The only good time I had with a ghost box, we were in this area where it was kind of like a radio cell phone dead zone, and we had this ghost box going. I sneezed, you can hear it say Gesundheit over several channels. That was cool. Gesundheit wasn't something people say nowadays. We actually asked if it was a man or a woman, and it said boy. We told my wife to say hi because she hadn't said anything, so she said hi, and it said hi right back. Like it was that night. That thing worked perfect. Any other time we used it, we were picking up radio stations, and I broke the antenna off of it, and then I gave it to one of my guys, and he ended up quitting my team and taking it. So whatever. But I would just say, if you're gonna do it, you don't need the antennas. Don't break them off, but you don't have to put them up, and just let things manipulate that radio.
Yeah. Or you could even put it in reverse, so it's harder for the words to come through to make sense.
Yeah.
Like if it's run in reverse. So he said he needs something fairly simple, mainly to use in homes. Then an SB7, I think, is this simple, non-complicated, less showy and fancy, and definitely not as expensive as some of the others.
You can find probably on eBay. You can probably find the Shack Hack. They still do have them around.
Oh, those are a lot though.
Nowadays, they didn't used to be. Radio Shack went out of business.
I think one time I saw it for like over $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But they are definitely the cheaper radio put together radios, but people will exploit it, and they're gonna But if you want to save money, go find a radio kit. There's a page called Mad Labs, and they sell a lot of kits to build like the miniature theremin kit, and they sell radio kits. You can probably find where the sweep function is, and you
can you add the Mad
it.
Labs link in the comments?
Yeah, let's go with Mad Labs. They have a lot of projects.
Yeah, I just started building stuff now, so
I'm sure this is
I'm getting into it.
I don't think this is the right one.
Yeah, the SB7 Pro, like crossed the line, so it has a built-in REM pod, and you can pause the scan noise with the button.
Oh, okay. Oh, they built in a REM pod. That's interesting.
Let's see. Did you mean Mad
It's
Labs?
a little pricey though. I just looked it up. It was like $275, I think, for the SB7 Pro.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know if you need a built-in REM pod. I don't know if that's worth the extra money.
Well, I would wonder if it would be because sometimes, like, devices affect one another, and I've had a REM pod get affected by an SB7 near it.
Yeah.
So why would you put those two devices together? I mean, it makes it great because it's less things to carry if you have a multi-use tool, but if one affects the other, then I feel like it beats the purpose.
Yeah. And Victor asked what a REM pod does. So essentially a REM pod creates an electromagnetic field around it. And so that way, if anything comes and touches that field, it will set off a noise. I think he has one right here.
Well, it's the one I built.
There are some REM pods that also go by temperature, because I think the one Mark has. But what I don't like about that one is like a 5-degree difference will cause it to go off. And I'm like, that's if we all go into a room and our body heat changes the atmosphere, it's going to go off.
Yeah.
Like a 5-degree is not a big difference. I would do like maybe 10 or more for it to react.
Yeah, and he has the REM pod here. So
that's the REM pod you built?
Yeah. So and you can hear it. It sounds just like the REM pod when you start it up. It's the same thing, but all it is, and let me see if I can show you, but I just put it all in a little box, but you have to solder all that stuff together. So the other side looks like crap. This side looks pretty cool. But
Yeah.
I put it in the box without being able to see the lights because I messed up on the lights. But no, it works. I have gotten a little bit of response on these, like where something actually touched it, but you got to understand how sensitive they are. If a bug lands on the tip of it, it could set it off. So
everything. The movement, walking across the line. Paranormal says, interesting that walkie-talkies will set them off within several feet. So yes, walkie-talkies will, and so will your phone's Wi-Fi at times. Will set off the REM pods and the K2 meters for sure.
Yeah, that's why I don't like K2 meters anymore, because people would we actually, when we went to the Lavity house, we were getting like the K2 was like going up every time we asked a question. It was just like bloom, 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 and we were like, oh, cool, we're getting responses. Well, then I went home and I was like, I want to test something, so I had my cell phone next to it, and I'd ask questions, and like every so often it would go up, like all the way up, and it was my cell phone that was causing it.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yep.
okay,
That's
well,
what you
maybe
have to put your phone, because your phone is always searching for Wi-Fi or a signal, so it sends out that frequency. So we always either turn off our phones or put it in airplane mode, so nothing, it doesn't as effect. And we usually keep it all in one room, like we don't even carry it with us.
And that's what we mean by like contamination with evidence and things like that. You have to take some precautions.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But
And learn how your devices work.
Yeah. Don't be like me. I thought it was all like it is on TV. Like if you only watch TV and then go out and try to do this stuff, you'll find out real fast that things don't work like it does for them on TV. And two, once you start learning how they work, you'll be able to debunk these ghost hunting shows. My only show I watch now is Project Fear on YouTube. I'll watch it.
I like them.
But it's mostly because he's not claiming that it's a ghost hunting show. It's a psychological experiment to see how they do in fearful situations. And that's what I like about it. It has gone towards a ghost hunting show, but they still are the bare bones type people that go out and just use small amounts of equipment, and they get pretty good results with it. Is it all real?
Yeah.
Who knows? But I know they probably don't make enough off of it right now to make fake stuff, so maybe.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
They need ratings, so everything is haunted. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Stack Bacon's.
Sure.
When his ratings drop, he gets possessed.
I only watch Greg and Dana. And
Greg and Dana.
Thank you for watching us, Victor.
Yeah, thank you.
Who's Greg and Dana?
That I'm sure. Are they on a show?
I'm not heard of them. I am too.
I'll try to look it up.
Yeah.
I was watching Ghost Hunters when it went to. It wasn't Ghost Hunters, but it was Jason and Steve and them on the show they were on before they went back to Ghost Hunters. There was an episode where they had a figure walk across a stairway, and you could tell it was fake. You could tell it was just superimposed into that shot.
Greg and Dana, they're from the Hellier series. So yeah, it's funny because I'm going to their opening on Sunday for the Unbinding. I don't know why the name didn't click. I'm sorry. But yes, I love, if you Jason, if you haven't watched the Hellier series, watch it. It's pretty good. And yeah, I'm going to their opening for their new series called The Unbinding. So that's cool.
Okay.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah, I agree. There are no Zach fans here.
No.
No. We all like Aaron though. Yeah, I like Aaron. I used to like Steve, but I'm not a big fan of Steve anymore. He got too, I don't know. I pick up on people's energy. I'm not sensitive whatsoever. I don't think I'm a one of those people, but when people talk and look at me, like I can tell that they're either fake or they're real or they are full of shit or they're not full of shit. So he seems full of shit now. Now, granted, I there are people I like off that show, but not Steve anymore. And
Fair enough.
yeah, I do like Aaron though. If I had somebody I could hang out with and talk to, it would be Aaron, because I think he's been in the worst places and he's still alive. My kids would like to meet him.
Still around. He made it.
He did make it.
Fair enough.
It is fair enough.
Yeah. Oh man. So what do you suggest to people who are starting, or even like people in the field? Because you seem to go in with a different method in investigating.
One, anything that people tell you that's happened in their house, take it with a grain of salt. Dismiss most of it. Figure out what's causing it, because it's usually something natural in the house causing it. So you do that. Two, a lot of it's psychological. When a person's in a home that they are scared of, and if say there is a spirit there, it's going to feed off that negative energy of them being scared all the time. I always walk them through that house before I leave and have them tell that ghost they don't want them there. And in a sense, that empowers them they feel like they have power in that house now. Hell, I did a house in a little town called Ramona. The people hadn't lived in it in like 6 months because they kept having knives thrown at them, music coming on in the middle of the night, really uncomfortable feelings in certain rooms. I went in there. I didn't catch a single thing, but I had the lady before I left walk through the whole house, tell it she didn't want it there anymore. I got a message 2 weeks later, her saying, "I don't know what you did, but my house, there's nothing in there anymore. Like it's clean." I'm like, "Cool. So you guys are living there?" She says, "Yeah, we've been living here for the last 2 weeks and it's fine." I'm like,
nice.
Okay. So it's a lot of empowering the people themselves.
Yeah.
And two, if it's dealing with kids, you want to handle it very, very easily. You want to give them white glove service. You don't want to provoke. You don't want to put that kid in any more danger than what they feel like they're already in. So again, it's an empowering thing or a mind over matter thing. Give them a little bottle that you make that's called ghost spray, and if they feel like they're a ghost around them, they can spray that around their bed if they want, and the ghost will stay away. And I mean, it works. And again, just don't believe everything you hear. People do like to make things up.
What I notice with the cases with kids, a lot of the time it's like a huge fear factor that the parents create. And they scare the kids so much because they're talking about all the activity and all everything. And it's like, don't discuss these things. Like, unless your kid approaches you and says, "Hey, this is happening." Other than that, like, don't scare them.
Yeah.
Well, it's like my kids. We had a house that we lived in when they were a lot younger, and they came down one day and saying there was a dead lady hanging above their toy chest. What? So we run up there. We're like, "What in the hell is going on?" There was nobody up there, and we're like, "What?" And they're pointing where it was. I'm like, "That's strange." But we didn't react like what most people do, because I ghost hunt, and so I'm like, now I'm looking to see if somebody's died in this house, and I couldn't find anything. But my kids didn't really have a fear of sleeping in their room at night. They would go upstairs and sleep in that room when they were supposed to, and no real bad nightmares. But it's because I didn't feed into it. Again, do I believe that it happened?
Is a lot different. Yeah. That's the same thing with my daughter. When she was younger, she used to see a lot of different things. And I remember when she was like two or three was like her turning point. But around like 2 or 3, there was one time she was just I went to go make her bottle. I came back. She's sitting up at the bed, just like staring like straight at like the mirror across. I was like, what happened? And she's like, lady in mirror, like long brown hair. And I was like, oh, okay, that's okay. We're okay. You want your bottle? She's like, yeah. Because she was fine. She wasn't. It's one thing if they're reacting scared, but she was just saying it like it was just like some lady who just stopped by to say hi and like left. So I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
After she went to sleep, though, I was like, what the F is happening?
Well, and these parents, when they sit us down, because I usually ask to sit down with them and the kid. We want to know, we want to see the kid react. And a lot of times when we ask, they look at their parents like, can I tell them? And then it's like, you never know exactly what's going on. I can tell you that most of the homes I've gone to, that dealt with kids, I can have them walk through there, the kid walk through there and say, this is my room, leave my room alone. And then I tell the ghost, come home with me. They don't want you here. And the parents were happy.
All the ghosts come over.
Yeah. I would so love it if I could get every ghost I've ever come in contact with to come in this room and just stay in my little office here.
Just hang out.
Have a little party.
For research purposes.
Yeah, but my wife would just not have that. Like she doesn't like. So my mom's in here in this room with us. Sorry, but she sits right there. And my wife doesn't like to leave my office door open because it's right by the bed. She doesn't like to leave it open because she said the worst feeling she'd have in her life is if she woke up and mom was just standing there looking at her in the doorway. And I was like, I want to see her though. So she won't leave the door open, but the funny story about mom though. Sorry. So remember when Tom died, right? Well, he was in the casket and me and mom went in there, and this guy that runs the funeral home came in there and was talking about how we got such a good deal and stuff. And like, that guy's a jerk. Well, anyway, he walked off, and then she's looking at him in the grave or in the coffin, and she goes, I just wish he'd set up and say hi. I was like, don't you think he'd be a little scared if he set up right now and said hi? She's like,
yeah,
probably, but I'm like, yeah. So no, I think it would be her sense of humor to scare one of us. I think she would she would do it just to screw with us.
She's waiting for the right moment.
Me too. And I try like all day, like if I'm at work and I'm having a bad day, I'm like, Mom, can you do something about this? And
maybe you guys need to be together.
Maybe.
Me and Bill need to be together?
Yeah.
Like in the same room? No. Like in the same room with the energy,
Yeah.
When you come visit, let me know before you do, because I'll have to clean my room. But we can do a little EVP session in my closet here. It's insulated. We could
wait, in your closet?
Well, this room, okay, it's a big room, but it was turned into a closet. It used to be a bedroom. So like where my computer is now over here, that used to have shelves in it. Now it doesn't. But like they took the house. It was a 4-bedroom home, and they made it the bedroom, and then cut this doorway, and then closed off this doorway, and made it the closet for that bedroom. So of course I have always had my ghost hunting stuff in a closet. I don't care how small the closet is, as long as I can fit a desk and a laptop in there. That's my office. And so my friends always make fun of me as, you finally came out of the closet. And I'm like, no, I didn't. My office is literally a closet now.
In the closet. the most massive closet I've seen.
It is a big closet.
You know what? This is probably what I would do to a huge closet, is turn it into my workspace.
People don't believe me. I probably have 6 or 7 computers somewhere hooked up in this room, and it's what I do. I'm a cybersecurity major. I'm going to school for it, and it's like I
Awesome.
love computers around. I work on computers all day because I'm a help desk technician by day and a studying guy at night because I don't really ghost hunt a whole lot anymore. But I do a lot of that stuff all day. So yeah, this is my room that's filled with all of my supposedly haunted things. Like I've got a haunted cane that a lady would swear that it gave her nothing but bad luck. I have a doll somewhere that a girl gave me, said it was haunted. I've got a Ouija board sitting right up here. I've got the planchette over here. I figured if they want to talk, there's a spider.
I love how like
there.
you're like, yeah, these people just gave me their haunted objects to keep.
They did.
Right.
But I have a give me 1 second. That's a dangerous spider. Okay.
Ooh.
So anyway, I just had a fiddleback. That was fun.
I don't know what that is.
Kind of like a brown recluse.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. Oh yeah, those are dangerous.
Not good.
Cross the line Paranormal says the doll walked off.
I was about to walk off. That thing looked scary. It came out of the Ouija board. When I started talking about it, it crawled out from under it. That was
wow.
Creepy.
That was weird.
Ouija board's like, you don't believe in me.
That's one of those misconceptions, right? That are rare that happen.
Yeah, it just happened. I believe in them now. Don't play with Ouija boards. Sorry, my Facebook's going crazy too. Let me close that. But,
You're good.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So I mean, this is my place. This is my little part of heaven. All my ghost hunting equipment, all my computer equipment. They just need to come here. And so when you come here, I'm hoping they'll all be here. And then we'll pour Mom out on a table and we'll see what happens.
Did you say you'll pour her?
Yeah, we each have this vial of ashes. I have mine here, actually.
Okay. You have yours right next to you. Oh, okay.
I have a big box of her because I'm the oldest. Somehow I ended up with it.
Okay.
But yeah. So I have a big box of her. I've got dark humor. People don't understand. I've been on a broadcast before and I like, you guys want to meet my mom? And I pull out the thing she did and they're like, and I'm like, oh yeah. She says hi.
Yeah, one of my favorite jokes is I'll tell people that my parents don't talk to me anymore, and they're like, "Oh, well, why not?" And I'm like, "Oh, they passed away.
They died."
Yeah.
I think that's what you told us, and this is actually the first time hearing that your parents passed away. What the heck, Bill?
Yeah. No, my mom passed away, but I still have my sperm donor. If I could get them to trade spots somehow, that would be great. But it's a horrible life. But yeah. But no,
someone said must be a thing with investigators. I collect haunted objects too. Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
I just want them because I like to test them out. Like this cane. I mean, here, let me get it here. It's literally the cane. This lady had it wrapped up in some kind of a cloth that she thought was going to keep it from, I guess, infecting her with whatever. And it came all the way from Miami, Oklahoma, and she didn't have a wreck, so I guess she had it wrapped good enough. But I've had it in this house since we moved in, and I've never had anything bad happen to me. But the doll, I had it set up for probably 2 weeks. I had a camera on it. I had a voice recorder near it, like certain times of like night, so there wouldn't be a whole lot of ambient noise. I never got anything from it, but when I took it, they said nothing was happening in the house anymore and that I could just keep it. I was like, cool.
No.
But nothing's happened here. We had a rocking chair. I think we ended up giving it away to somebody. But supposedly it was haunted. I never had it rock on its own, like they said. I've never had a kid
And whoever you
crying
gave
come out of it.
hasn't returned it to you.
Yeah,
So
they didn't say anything. So
all good things.
yeah, so it's a you just never know. A lot of times, again, like I said, it's psychological. They get rid of what they think is causing the problem. They feel better about it. It stops happening. So
Yeah.
I'll take it. Just give me more expensive stuff.
Right.
So,
Where's your
like the
haunted
hospital.
AirPods?
that 80-inch TV causing you problems?
If only
I
it could
saw
be
the-
those things.
I saw the nun on it the other day. That you better give it to me. I'll take care of it.
Cross the Line Paranormal says, sometimes I think it's the energy off the person who owns the object as well that may affect the environment, positive or negative. It could be.
Yeah. It's and they also say, so what's your opinion? A ghost is a ghost. A poltergeist is what? Still a ghost, right?
It's just a noisy ghost.
Yeah, which
See,
people
I have a different view on poltergeists.
see, and people do, and it confuses me because meaning noisy ghost, it just means a ghost that's, to me, got more energy that can move stuff. But
Yeah, for me, I think poltergeist for me, because I go by like the parapsychology terms, is usually caused by the living person in the home, creating things to happen.
yeah,
Yep.
which I agree with that. It's just at the same time, it's not a ghost at that point anymore. It's not a noisy
No, it's
ghost.
not. Yeah. That's
It's
why we'll never say like poltergeist is a ghost, because it's
yeah.
a lot of the, to me, at least that term to me means it's the living person causing things to happen in the house.
Yeah.
And then shadow people. What's your opinion on shadow people?
Well, I don't think they're, everyone associates them with like evil and stuff like that. I don't necessarily. I think it's, the whole thing is like apparently they could show up as they want to be seen. So if someone wants to be seen as a shadow person, let them be seen as a shadow person.
Well, yeah, and I think because it's a dark color, so it's going to be dangerous. Because if it was a good spirit, it would be white.
I don't believe in the colors.
All of a sudden, but it's like the darker the entity is the more evil it is, and it's honestly, it's gotten to a point. I follow a guy that shadow people are evil, and it's like, again, prove that too. Show me where the dark entity touched you, because there's no proof, and it's honestly just a more dense appearance that they have where you can actually see them. I mean, to claim that just because the entity is a shadow person, now we've got the theory that the shadow person actually is a person that jumps through the different those things. Why is my brain starting not to work? Yeah, dimensions. Or it could be us looking at ourselves from another dimension.
Yeah.
So
it's so I also have to look at shadow people differently too, because it occurs in ufology cases and abducting contactee cases. And then you have to look into, because a lot of contactees, abductees, they see shadow people, and it's usually the same image that's seen over and over. So it's like it could be anything, and it doesn't have to be something. It's not. I don't consider them demons or evil or anything like that. It's
yeah. I think honestly, people put a lot too much thought into what things are. Like I've seen literally, when you're in a dark house and you see something peek around a corner, could that not be considered a shadow person? It's just a ghost. I mean, we're or energy. We're just seeing these things, and but people have to always go and make things more than what they are. And that's where I think a lot of these investigators, when they go into people's homes, they get them more scared. Stop doing that. That's my advice. Stop making people more scared. Empower them, keep them feeling strong about their own home and about their own what's around them, and quit trying to make them scared, because now you're going to say, oh, well, we can have somebody come bless your home, and then they're going to make it worse. And who's to say everybody believes the same way?
Yeah, I remember a Texas team had to clean up someone's mess on a residential case because this demonologist came into a home and told them that they had demons all over. They had them get rid of their Disney DVDs, saying that that was the devil and all this stuff. And this poor family did not live in their house, was staying in like a motel because they were so scared after this guy came in and got rid of all the things he told them to get rid of. And thank God for this team out in Texas came in and literally was able to explain everything that they were experiencing with a natural cause and explanation. And the family they've been fine since then. But it's crazy. Like, how do you go into someone's home and be like, you got demons everywhere, Disney movies are demonic, and you got to get rid of all the kids' movies, these poor kids.
But Disney's the devil. I mean, it's big on TikTok again. That these
my whole thing is too with residential cases, take your own beliefs out. Whatever you believe in, do not, assume that's what the family believes in. You're walking into a home where there's different beliefs, different, religious beliefs, outside of religion, all that. It's you have to take your own personal beliefs and leave that out and do the research that you were meant to do for them.
I mean, the closer we can get, it's like people get in these situations where they see something and run. It's like the people that actually get in contact with something. So like you go to an old prison and you see a shadow down there, like you run away from that. Why? Go to it. That's what you came here for. Go to it and see if you can talk to it. Like scare it, make it run away from you. But our job is to actually make contact. Our job is to figure out why they're there and what they need. And beyond that, we shouldn't be telling somebody we can get rid of something. We shouldn't be telling them that there's only the one way by blessing the home to get rid of a demon. I think that's a big reason why ghost hunting teams kind of dropped off here in Bartlesville, where I'm at, is because these other groups started popping up, and it's like demon this, demon that, and then people would realize
it becomes a liability too, because when things don't get better, guess who they're going to blame? You.
That's why I had them sign a waiver just to let them know I'm coming in, and it will make it worse, or it may not, but it's a possibility it could be worse when I leave. I'm not going to be here 24/7 to help you out with it. And I'll do my best to explain what's happening. And they'd sign that paper, and I didn't have a whole lot of people call back. What my problem was is I told them it'll take me 2 weeks to go through your stuff. To physically go through 8-9 hours of stuff, leave me that time. They'd want to call the next day. They'd want to know what's going on. And I'm like, I'm still like, I had to work. I haven't got to it yet. So
I have to remind clients, like, we all have, this is like what we do on our free time. Like a lot of us have, families, jobs. We are not what's on TV.
No. And if I could ever make it a full-time job to do what I want to do, then I'll be here for people.
That would be awesome.
But no, I've gone to more. I'll consulate. No, what do I say? I'll consult with investigators. If they have something going on that's really bad, I might step in and go check it out. And I'm just doing it for evidence. I'm not doing it because I think I'm any better than anybody else. I don't know any more than anybody else knows. It's just I want that evidence. I want it to happen to me because that will be proof of something.
Yeah.
But you
gotta come down to Florida. Florida's got some weird stuff.
Yeah, come visit, bro.
I will one of these days.
We'll go hang out in my closet.
We will take you places.
We can stop having hurricanes maybe one of these days.
We haven't had one for a couple
out,
weeks.
hurricane party. That's what you do.
Well, I'll have to see. The wife was asking me if I'd where I wanted to go when we go on vacation. So we had talked about Florida. We'd actually talked about West Virginia is where my home office for my work is. I work from home, so
nice.
We had thought about going there, but yeah,
Savannah, Georgia also is great for ghost hunting.
Is that where you're close to?
It's like 6-8 hours away.
Yeah.
But if you guys are going on vacation and you're not coming to Florida, I'd say go there.
Yeah. Well, I might have to. It's hard because she wants to do family stuff, and I guess ghost hunting isn't family stuff. It will be one of these days.
You could go to the beach and do family stuff during the day, and then at night.
Well, there's other stuff. No, never mind. But yeah, with the kids being their age they are right now, leaving them alone is just kind of iffy. But once they both get in their teenage years, I think it'll be a lot easier for us to do more. But again, I'm not going to take home cases anymore. I'm not going to do anything that I have to deal with people in the public per se. So I do want to throw a couple of our own little, I call them ghost cons. I threw a couple in the past that turned out pretty good. I'm actually, I've been a speaker at there was one in Caney, Kansas that happened a few weeks ago. And then I've got one somewhere deeper in Kansas that I'm supposed to be part of in January. So nice. I'm getting out there and speaking.
Awesome.
But we may actually investigate that night from that next to in a theater. They've got a theater they're doing the conference in, and then when everybody leaves, the investigators get to stick around. So
awesome. That's really
that'll be fun. But yeah, I like I said, if I could find an old hospital that I could somehow buy, no matter where it is, if it's in Florida, I'll take it.
Be pretty expensive in Florida.
Right now, yeah.
My thought is there's been people that had Ouija boards on Facebook Marketplace and they're like, it's so haunted, or a doll or something on Facebook Marketplace. They're like, it's haunted, and you message them like, oh, I'll take it off your hand. I actually do handle this stuff. And they're like, okay, $100. And I'm like, I just continue to be scared then, because I'm not going to pay you for it. If you think it's haunted so bad, then you're just trying to make money off of it. And I think if this hospital down here realized what the actual profit would be if they let it become like a research facility or a ghost hunt facility, they'd probably exploit it too. But like the old they call it the Old Southern Hospital in Arkansas, but it's an old tuberculosis hospital. And you pay $50 and you get from 5 o'clock on a Friday night till 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning, all night to investigate by yourself.
That's it?
$50, and it's a donation. So you give them the $50 mandatory donation, and then you could give them more money if you wanted. But that place is fairly haunted. It's in good old Boonville, Arkansas.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
If you ever make it this way.
There.
Yeah. So it's like 4 hours from me, and it's well worth it. The last time we went, the time before the last we went, my wife was pregnant with our first kid, and she started having labor pains while we were there. On the way back that night or that next morning, there was a deer just laying in the road, lounging in the road. It was alive, and I hit the brakes like as hard as I could. It just looks at me, and so I drive around it, Well, we get home.
It still
It's
wouldn't move. It's like I'm
Yeah,
hanging out.
it didn't move. I probably died at some point, but we got home at like 4:00, 4:30 in the morning. And at 6:00, she woke me up, said either I'm peeing a lot or my water broke.
Oh, God.
And it's like I had 2 hours of sleep, if that. And we were up from when we took her to the hospital till I think it was 9:00 in the morning the next day. And we were
Hold on. Were you guys investigating like the week she was due?
She was supposed to be induced. She wasn't going to go into labor on her own. That's what they told her.
Okay.
So we thought we were safe because, yeah, we were supposed to come back Saturday, and she was supposed to go in Monday. But yeah,
Oh, wow.
Davey
Saturday,
had other plans. It's like, nope.
yeah. Now she still had to do the C-section because that baby was 9 pounds. So that was that was fun. But yeah, that was my.
She's a trooper, man.
Yeah.
That far along, waddling around, I'm not. Nope. I love investigating, but I was not.
Yeah, she did, and she I guess somebody in her family said that that's why our daughter is so out there, is because she's possessed, because she was in that ghost hunt with us. It's like she was in several ghost hunts with us back then. Because she's 11 now, so we were doing ghost hunts before she was born, and so yeah. Whether she was in me or in her, it was still going.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Oh boy. Well, any other questions or?
Yeah. Did anybody have anything in the comments?
Actually reached over an hour and a half now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always fun. I can talk. That's why I didn't need any evidence, because I can talk.
See, mine's 16. She goes with me all the time. I cannot wait for my daughter to be old enough to go. Like, I bring her to locations where they allow her. Like, she's 8, so there's some that will allow her, but others, obviously, they're like, eh. She's
Graveyards, things like that.
yeah.
That's how I started my son, because it was I don't know. My youngest now is 9, and he's not as into the ghost hunting stuff, but I think when I do get to take him, yeah, I'm gonna start him off in cemeteries, because he feels like that there is too much out there that he doesn't understand. So even though he may not be 100% scared, like to watch these scary movies or sleep in a dark room, whatever, it's like he still thinks it puts too much thought into it. So he will freak himself out. But I think a cemetery is supposedly where all these dead people hang out. So we'll see. Yeah. My oldest, though, he when he was 8, we took him to the witch's grave. We actually had a couple EVPs that was telling him to quit crying, quit whining, and something else. Like we had to laugh at him, like somebody was laughing, but it wasn't us. It was just me, him, and one of my other guy friends out there. And it was just like some of the EVPs we caught, it was because he was out there freaking out, like he was scared, and they kept telling him not to be scared. I think one of the claims out there is that rocks get thrown at you. And we actually heard rocks being thrown that night while we were there, so that freaked him out a little bit more. But nothing hit us. It wasn't like it was trying to hit us or anything. But yeah, cemeteries are good. And then if you can get a place like that Boonville Hospital, I don't think it has a age limit on it. You just have to have a responsible adult there.
Yeah.
So, and I think we've taken a guest that was a younger guest before. So you just have to find the places. Florida, I don't know. Florida, I haven't been able to investigate there. I was a kid when I was there, so
okay.
I'll have to make it there. I was only there for a couple years, though, I think.
Yeah.
There used to be a really good fried chicken place out there.
There's a lot of good fried chicken places around
There's
here.
a few, yeah.
The food here is really good.
Yeah. It's good here in Oklahoma.
Rice and beans.
Red beans and rice, but this belly wasn't built from just
He's built for feed, not for speed.
yeah. I am, so I can eat my weight in myself. I don't know. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on and letting us bug you for a little bit and interview you.
Yeah. Well, anytime,
Thanks,
holler at
So,
thank you, bro.
where can everybody find you?
I actually have a friend page that's literally called the Ghost Guy, so you can add the Ghost Guy to the to your friends list. Jason Alexander comes up. Don't add that one. He's a jerk. But the Ghost Guy is pretty cool. And I'll take messages pertaining to ghost hunting
YouTube
there.
channel, correct too, right?
Yeah, but I don't use it a whole lot. But I do plan on here, let me pull it up so I can get the link. But I honestly do want to get out and do what you were doing, Bill, where you was actually going out to these places and videotaping it. But yeah, we're in the Bible Belt, so it's really hard for us to get out there.
You're in the belt buckle.
We are the belt buckle, but there's the YouTube. I need about 27 more subscribers. I've only got 8 videos, and they all deal with ghost hunting, but some of them are 7 years old, so don't judge how beautiful I look now compared to then. But you can tell when I gained weight.
Awesome. We look forward to seeing more, hopefully more content, more stuff from you, and you get into investigating more.
Yeah.
And
the winter time is going to be the best. I think we'll make it. But yeah, go add the Ghost Guy as a friend and just keep a watch on it. And you can also join the Extreme Ghost Research Lab. And I will be pulling people from the lab to do some experiments. It's just a group right now, but we do have some experiments we can do, broad range, like different people doing things for the experiments. So as soon as I get those set up, I'll pull it from there. But beyond that, yeah, those are my contacts.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, of course, bud.
Thanks for coming on. All right, bye guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Love you, Bill.
Love you too, bro.
Oh, brotherly love.
Kids these days.
I'm not. All right. Peace.